the problem? Have you seen some results, Ronnie?
I think there's a lot of things that are happening in Para. There are policy interventions, there are macroeconomic interventions, and as just said, there are structural issues within the economy and within the labor market that need to be addressed, and all these things are happening simultaneously so let us take a step back. So one of the interventions, obviously, government identified, through the Marshall Plan, I think that was released in 2006, was to say, why don't we try and push some of this traffic coming into the labor market into entrepreneurship? So at the time, the largest concern was access to financing. So these funds were established, and money indeed was thrown at the problem. But what we have failed to interpret well is the mandate of the funds. Actually, a lot of these funds are properly defined in terms of the intervention. So it's not just throwing money at the fund, at the problem. There are business support and development services. There are market linkage issues. There's provision of brick and mortar for young people, cheap, accessible, and driving literally market dynamics. But a lot of that, through interpretation or misinterpretation thereof, were not done. So what we have seen is an overemphasis on pushing money in terms of lending. But I think, the unemployment issue needs to have a different perspective. So we need to have a crisis.
Yeah.
We do need to address that crisis. But I will challenge Jacqueline when we say too many of those jobs we're creating now are informal. I think the issue here is we need to identify the drivers of job creation and invest in formalizing. So if it is breaking down the barriers of formalization,